Hello everyone, it's Leon here from GamesRadar and I'm joined by Zoe.
Hello.
And we have spent a little over a week with an Xbox One X. We've been playing games, testing it out, and this is kind of what we think of it really. It's not a full review because it's not out in the wild yet, so we've just played with what we've got. And it's a powerful machine.
I mean, there's no denying that. The technology under the bonnet is frankly astonishing.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you what it feels like to actually work with the console and to play on it and
Yep.
to just envelop it as the console you're going to have plugged
Yep.
to your TV in your flat.
And in the right circumstances, like the 4K looks incredible. Like I've been to some of the events where they plug it into these, these 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pound TVs that like no mortal man can ever afford.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it looks incredible. Like Tomb Raider, like genuinely, like I gasped when I played like Rise of the Tomb Raider. One of the opening levels where she's walking around with the blue glow stick and just the HDR and the crispness and everything was like, that looks astonishing. Like Assassin's Creed, you can see like as far as Egypt goes, you can kind of see. So that all sort of looks fantastic when it's there. But it does feel like 4K is it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely from playing it, I couldn't see any difference in the actual performance of the game. I mean, it's supposed to run everything a little bit smoother, even if it's not a native 4K game or got a 4K patch applied. But it pretty much feels that 4K is all the Xbox One X has to offer at the moment.
Yeah, which is weird because I mean that's all the PS4 Pro did, but that's much more sort of pitched as it's just a bit of a slight improvement on PS4. Phil Spencer, Microsoft, they've been really sort of vocal about how this is like the best gaming experience you can get. They've pitched it as like a premier product. It's like this is the top end. This is not what they've said, but I guess in the same way that you have the iPhone 8 and the iPhone X, you have like your sort of your basic one, and this is the if you really want to splash out version. Yeah,
Phil Spencer literally said this is the very best experience, and to be fair, it obviously is. When you look at all the technology it's got underneath it, it's just astonishing the amount of power they put into it. But we're going to talk about the dashboard now and the user experience. When it comes down to it, when you play Xbox One X, you want to feel like a VIP. You've spent £450 / almost $500 on this console. You've shelled out for something that should be able to turn your games into just visions of beauty and shooting things in the face, probably. And yet, when you boot it up, the dashboard is exactly the same as an Xbox One.
Well, this is the dashboard they introduced beginning of October to sort of pave the way for the Xbox One X. And Microsoft have made this big deal about how you can play. Every game will work on a X1, an S, a 1X, whatever, which is nice from point of view of you get to keep your hardware, your controllers, your hard drives, everything will work. You can just move from an Xbox One S to an Xbox One X and just take all your games with you. But you are essentially playing the same games like notched up a little bit, and unlike say a PC where you move the slider up and you get more trees and better grass and there's more polygons on the sheep or whatever, this is the same game, just maybe the better draw distance, better textures. The main difference seems to be from download sizes is things like Forza's like 100 gig download. Everything's now like about a sort of 100 gig download for the textures, which that's the main thing, and it needs sort of developers need to do something that take advantage of all that power. Like 6 teraflops is a huge increase. It's nearly like 3 times as powerful as any other console around at the moment. But unless studios use that for anything other than textures and draw distances, you're just going to basically be playing the same game prettier.
Yeah.
And that's it, which is the problem. It doesn't feel like it does anything else that makes you feel magic and special, like, holy, look at my amazing new console. And people will be just like, isn't that just Gears again?
Yeah, and you'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you turn on the Xbox One X and the dashboard comes up, I at least expected it to take a tiny bit of advantage out of the 4K stuff. Like, give me some water droplets, give me some fire, give me something that shows me that I'm seeing a premiere console. Give me a new opening cinematic. Make me feel like I'm special and I've invested in this luxury product for a good reason. But when we turned it on, I'm sure you found the same. For a moment, I was like, oh, okay, here's my pins, good. Here's my home, good. And I'm the same count as before.
You do get, when you very first turn it, very first time you turn it on, it does go, well, here's Xbox One X. But it's almost like the kind of like the intro trailer to a game that you only see that one time. I mean, it's a great piece of kit, and it does feel like it's like a sort of a waiting game to see what people do with it at the moment, with the exception of sort of like Assassin's Creed Origins. That's kind of the only new. That's out, but that's sort of the newest thing that is Xbox One X enhanced. And there is a lot of Xbox One X enhanced games, but it is existing stuff. So it is things like Forza, it's Gears of War 4, it's even Call of Duty. It's stuff that's already been in development that won't have been made for the machine, specifically. So you're basically playing up-res versions of existing games, and it's where studios take that in the future. Like in a year's time, what are they going to do when at some point some studio is going to go, holy shit, look at these extra teraflops we can use. Let's do something, and that something will be amazing because no one will ever have seen it before. But at this point, it's basically, do you just want 4K, and do you have a 4K TV, or do you want to get a 4K TV? Because essentially that's what you're paying for is the Ks.
Yeah, that's the main question you've got to ask yourself. Do you want to shell out $500 or 450 quid for a console that, like the PS4 Pro, at the moment, let's emphasise that in big letters, only seems to really put out games in 4K? Because that's all it has to offer at the moment from what we've seen from the week of us playing it.
Yeah. I think from our experience, the conclusion is, like, if you desperately want to play in 4K and you either have a 4K TV or you're prepared to buy one, then knock yourself out, because it looks incredible and the games that run in 4K are the sharpest, prettiest things you'll ever see. But the leap from what you're currently playing is probably not great enough to sort of justify spending all that money. So it may be worth waiting around, seeing what happens with prices, seeing what happens with the games, and see where we are in a year's time. So that's our thoughts on a week living with the Xbox One X. Let us know what else you want to know about in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on GamesRadar Plus.